The next evening, we were all gathered at the Sonozaki residence. I thought we'd be talking with Mion's grandma over tea or something. However, it wasn't so relaxed a situation as that. Mion's grandma stayed in her futon. She was propped up against a huge cushion, and it made me feel like I was about to talk to a queen. That wasn't the only thing either. There was about 5 members of the Sonozaki family surrounding her, as though I was at some kind of Yakuza gathering. Yazuka? Yazuka? Yakuza? Some kind of Yakuza. I have completely forgotten how that word is spelled, or pronounced, or any of it. Yes, this wasn't just any old town council meeting. It was a meeting of the 3 families. I kind of felt as though I didn't belong, but I also didn't have the time to be afraid. If I could persuade this lady, I could get help from the villagers. So, that's the situation. If the town council doesn't change their current stance, then no matter what Kiichi-kun says, past this point the center won't listen to him. At the very least, the town council needs to declare their neutrality. The mayor was the first to speak. The old woman looked very grave. I couldn't tell if she always wore an expression like that, or if the story made her look that way. She made a comment in a very low voice to her people. The lady wearing a kimono spoke for her instead. She must be Mion's mother. The Child Consultation Center is simply doing their job. They understand how much you care about her, and they are going to take your appeal into consideration. What more are you expecting from them? Mom, let me explain this to you. Satoko's uncle is a horrible man. He regularly beat Satoko last year, and I'm sure he's even worse this time around, because of his lover-up and abandoning him. Didn't you investigate him, Kasai? Teppei Hojo, I mean. I did make such a report to Akane-san. You see, Mom? If we let the Child Consultation Center take care of this, it'll take months for them to save Satoko. I can't let her stay with that jerk for that long. She's not going to die. Stop making such a big fuss over this. The old lady finally spoke, but she didn't have anything pleasant to say. She might not die, but... Then shut up, you idiot. Worse, you're not even willing to risk your own life over this. Grow a backbone, you twit. Ah, what nonsense. The more I listen, the more nonsense I hear. I don't know who's saying which sentence. Wow, so that's why the whole village is afraid of her. This was Oryu Sonozaki, known variously as the Hag or the Empress Sonozaki. I feel so confused. Like, who was talking here and who was talking here? And I am confused here by this. Are you admonishing me for being respectful to you? And here, are you criticizing me for not committing murder? I'm very confused. Am I being told to tell you off? Are you telling me you want me to kill people? I feel confused. I'm not sure what's... Yeah, I mean... I'm confused. Or are you? Satoko is my friend. I want you to save her. Rika-chama, remember what I've told you all this time. You have to choose your friends carefully. That girl is a demon child of the Hojo family. I'm disappointed in you too, Dr. Irie. Aren't you old enough to realize what you're doing? Satoko-chan is the daughter of the Hojo family, but she's not the one who supported the dam project and fought against the village. I think it's unfair for you to judge her that way. Shut up. Who do you think you're talking to, you piece of shit? Are you sure she's willing to forgive Satoko-chan? That's what Mion told me. I think I get where the other villagers are coming from now. You look like you have something to say, Keiichi-kun. I appreciate that you're keeping a face that isn't, scary. You should just let it out. Thank you. I made eye contact with Mion's mom. She's a very pretty, but she was wearing the same grave look as Oreo. But then I had no doubts that this was Mion's mother. I don't mind talking. Is it really okay, though? Go ahead. You came all the way here to the Sonozaki residence. Yes, and even though I'm here to try to change Oryu's mind, she is the head of the village. I am trying to be respectful. I don't want to be rude. You should speak if you want to. Rena nodded in agreement. Okay. Oryu Sonozaki-san. My name is Keiichi Mabura. I moved here not too long ago. Nice to meet you. I already know a great deal about you. Let me tell you something. When your family moved to this village, you didn't come here to introduce yourself. That left a pretty bad impression. Okay, excuse me, why would I introduce myself? Wouldn't that be weird? Here's the thing. That left a pretty bad impression. Here's the thing. Why would I introduce myself? That would be very, arrogant on my part. Yes, I'm a newcomer to the village. But why would that make me special in any regard that you would want to talk to me? Why would you want me to introduce myself? I feel like it would be rude to introduce myself. I feel like you guys would be angry at me because you feel like I think I'm some super special important person that I deserve to speak with you just because I moved here. Again, you're saying, oh, let me tell you something. Your family moved to this village. You didn't come here to introduce yourself. That left a pretty bad impression. I mean, I'm sorry about that. That's not the intention. But from my point of view, I would have thought it would have been really weird to introduce myself. To come to the leader of the village and hi, I'm such and such. I feel like I would just be annoying everyone. I feel like you would have been angry at me for wasting your time. I feel like me coming to introduce myself would literally just be wasting your time. Why would I feel that I'm important enough to deserve an audience with here's the thing. The city talking about real life Lunar here. Grandly, different political landscape and everything, but I don't even remember who the mayor is. Actually, I probably can't even tell you who the mayor has been at any point in my life, in any city I've ever lived in. But then again, cities I've lived in have been bigger than Hinamizawa. But my main point is this. I don't feel like I'd be important enough to introduce myself. It's not an issue of just blowing you off so much as feeling like I don't have a right to come introduce myself. I felt like it would have been rude to introduce myself. Like it would be coming off as arrogant. That like you have to come, you have to, so I didn't think you'd even, hell, why would you even want me to introduce myself? Did you want to see me and talk to me? Which again, I mean, that's kind of an unusual thing on the lunar side. I kind of generally feel unwanted or uncared about in life in general, but hey, my own personal low self-esteem aside, or perhaps lack of social skills, I guess, I feel like I'm okay with that. I can talk to people. But then again, also anytime I go anywhere, anytime I interact with anyone, my default feeling is that everyone I ever see or encounter in any situation, that all they must be thinking about is how disgusting and horrible and ugly I am and how much they all wish I was dead. So, again, low self-esteem and perhaps, well, I've had a significant amount of negative reinforcement and really horrible things said to me throughout the course of my life. Most of my life seems to have been spent either in isolation or in circumstances around people that were very not nice to me. So perhaps has molded my expectations of how people think about me. To be fair, not entirely, totally inaccurate. I mean, my main point is this. I don't have a high opinion of myself, and I feel like I'm a failure at everything in life. But aside from that, my own personal, emotional, and self-esteem issues for the real-life reader of this story aside, I feel like if you're moving to a new village, even if it's a small village, I feel like it would be weird to introduce yourself to the head of a village, because I feel like it'd be kind of arrogant on my part. Like it's almost like I'm demanding an audience. I mean, maybe other people might see it the other way as this, like, oh, it's rude to not find a way to go out of your way to introduce yourself, but at the same time, I'm also a very shy, timid, introverted individual who's very quiet to himself. Granted, I do have a lot of emotions, but I don't really express them in front of other people. In general, in life, I tend not to talk too much. I talk more in these videos than I do the entire rest of my life. So, in general, I tend to be a very stoic individual. People sometimes seem to think I'm a fucking robot or something, and I don't have emotions. Which is kind of does hurt my feelings, but oh well. Main point being is I'm just coming from the standpoint of I wouldn't introduce myself because I'd feel, why would my introduction be wanted? Why would you even want to talk to me? I feel like I would just be an annoyance. Why was Mion only telling me that now? Sure hope I'm not too late to introduce myself. Leave aside the fact that Satoko Hojo for a minute. Leave aside the fact that it's Satoko Hojo for a minute. The important thing to note is that a villager is in danger right now. In order to help that person, we have no choice but to make an appeal to the Child Consultation Center. Besides, I'm doing all of this of my own accord. I haven't caused you any trouble. But you heard from the mayor that you have been causing trouble, didn't you? The Hinamizawa Town Council and the Shishibone City Hall are working together. The Shishibone mayor and this virago? I actually don't know what that means. I'm going to Google that. A domineering, violent, or bad-tempered woman. Huh. Virago. Or is it... It's like... There's like a phonetics thing here. It doesn't help me. There's a... Okay. We have virago, which is VI, then it's I forget the word for the middle dot thing. RA, and then .go. But then down below we have V, and then the E, and then a space, and then an R, and then it has the Umer Eka, the German up semicolon thing that's above a letter as an accent. Above an A, and then a G, and then there's an O with like a tilde above it? Virago. A domineering, violent, or bad-tempered woman. Okay, Huh. By the way, is OBS Shan recording? I suppose I should do my intro. I've been skipping it the past few videos, just didn't feel like it. Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I'm Lunar D8. And we just learned what virago means. I guess this is just the world's most inefficient Webster's dictionary. That was necessary for this village to prosper. But that village is going to let an innocent girl suffer? Didn't you hear what I just said? No one is going to just let her suffer. The consultation center will take action when appropriate. You want them to hurry up, but frankly, you're being selfish. I feel so confused by how you're being about this. I feel like I feel like you're trying to tell me something, but I feel like I'm getting mixed signals here. Is she telling me to kill Tepe? I feel like I'm misunderstanding something. Wait, let me reread this. Huh. I am so confused. Ish. Are you? Are 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 you are you telling me you're disappointed in me for not killing Tepe? Are you telling me I should go kill him now? I'm like I'm really confused now. The town council and the government officials are in a business relationship. They're treating Sato's issue like it's an ordinary one. So basically you're saying that you don't care how much danger Satoko is in right now. Like me, I just told you Tepe is a horrible person. When Satoko showed up at the school 3 days after she was kidnapped, she was already at her wit's end. After only 3 days, I can't even imagine what would happen if we left her alone with him for a month. There's no guarantee that she will be saved after that either. At that point, they might decide to put her case on hold again. Mrs. Sonozaki, does the emotional damage she's suffering not matter at all to you? So what do you think we should do? I'm making an appeal to the Child Consultation Center, asking them to save her as soon as possible. I'm going to continue going to the center until they do. I have a question for everyone out there. Would you keep going to the Child Consultation Center and talk to them? Or would you just be like, no, we'll just... Like, I left them a note. That's it. I've done all I can. I guess Sato's just never going to be seen again. The end. Well then, there you go. You can just continue your appeal. Okay? It's none of the Sonozaki's business. But it kind of is, because weren't they talking to all of you? I mean, again, I'm not trying to force you guys to do anything. I just mainly wanted permission that you guys wouldn't stop me from doing a thing on my own to save my friend. But obviously I would like your help because you guys are very powerful. And if you guys were to actually help her, then it'd be a 100% chance of success immediately, because I have very high faith in what you guys are capable of and the amount of power and influence you have and your competency and your experience. But at the same time, I feel like I'm asking a lot to ask for your help, and there's no way I could possibly repay you. But there was a time where, this whole discussion started because it became apparent that you guys apparently were angry at me and also were threatening my teacher. Also, I kind of felt like you guys were actively taking a role against me. And I also kind of don't like how everyone in the village seems to hate Satoko. That's not very healthy. That's not a healthy... Isn't that enough? Damn it. She's so hard-headed. It was an easy win. Easy to win arguing with the old people in the assembly hall since they got agitated so quickly. But Akane-san, Mion's mom, is way tougher than that. Both of the Sonozaki sisters and their grandma are quick to anger, but Akane-san seemed incredibly calm. She was calm, but still full of animosity. But I can't continue our appeal anymore. If the town council doesn't tell the officials that they're going to support us, the Child Consultation Center won't listen to us at all. Did you hear that, Mom? We can't just do whatever we want. We need the town council to decide whether they're going to support us or not. Actually, the council has already made their decision. They said they'd support us as long as Granny agreed. Who the hell made that decision behind my back? Okay, I assume it's Oryu that's saying this, but I feel so confused. If Oryu's saying, like, oh, who the hell made that decision behind my back? I'm like, but they literally said right here on this same page,
They said they would support us as long as Granny agreed. That's literally not behind your back at all. That's literally saying, hey, we'll make this decision as long as we have the approval of this other person. That's literally the opposite of behind your back as possible. How is that behind your back at all? That's the exact opposite of behind your back. I don't think it's possible to be more respectful to you. Like they said they'd support as long as you agreed. Which means the whole thing is waiting on your decision. That's literally the opposite of behind your back. I don't understand why you're angry. You're all aware of how the Hojo family acted during the dam conflict, aren't you? They're all dead! And even then, Satoko was even younger than she was now. And I'm not asking you to forgive all the Hojos. And a moment ago, weren't you telling me I should have killed Tepe and I was being a pussy-ass bitch for not killing him? That it was immature and childish of me to go to the consultation center and that, the proper course of action that, I was supposed to do was just murder him. And that I was being a pussy-ass bitch for just not murdering him. Wasn't that what you were telling me a moment ago? If you're asking me to forgive them, my answer is still no. Again, I'm not asking you to forgive the Hojo family, or her parents, or Tepe, or any of them. That's fine, you can still hate them. I'm asking you to forgive Satoko. Hell, she doesn't even have to be a Hojo anymore. Somebody can adopt her. She can become a Kibiyoshi, or a Furude, or a Mabura. Okay? At that point, she's not a Hojo no more. Am I even saying that right? I'm not really familiar, actually. What were Satoko-chan's parents like? Her mom was like a stronger version of Satoko. Her dad was, Tepe's older brother. He was even stronger and scarier than Tepe. Scarier than... Again, did Satoko ever even really remember her dad? Because I do remember by the time it was the air quotes Hojos that went against the dam conflict. At that point, Satoko's mom had already remarried, and it was technically already a stepdad. Possibly even the second or third stepdad. So I don't even think that Satoko would even remember her actual biological father. That's not very funny. I see. Now I'm starting to understand how they clashed with the Sonozaki family. I guess she hasn't forgotten how much they pissed her off. Again, I could understand being pissed off at these people. But at the time, Satoko was like 6 or something? Ah, you're saying it out loud so we can hear. My children have told me a lot about you. I heard you're one courageous boy. Let me tell you this straight up. We'll be satisfied as long as that old lady in the futon just nods her head. Perhaps not the most reverent way of describing her. I'm not expecting you all to get involved in our protest. All I need is for her to nod. And if she said no... Nope. Okay, that's not very respectful at all. Well... Fuck. Well... I, the reader, don't get a say in what's happening here. I'd smash her head in and make me on the new family head so she can nod for us. What the fucking hell did you just say, you goddamn son of a bitch? Someone bring me a sword, I'll cut him into pieces and dump him in the well. Are you ready for a fight, old lady? What you ate tonight will be your last supper. Shut up, you fucking little shit. Do you even know who you're talking to? The evil hag who sent a violent glare my way, the intimidating aura surrounding her becoming almost visible. Normally I'd be terrified, however I can't back off today. Satoko doesn't have much time left. Everyone here knows that. We all know that she'll be forever damaged in only a few more days. We would then cry and lament our powerlessness. We have to fight back as best we can, so that we have no regrets. Again, I agree with that, and I feel that eventually we might get to the point of saying this, but we could have asked her to nod politely first, before we told her she's a fucking bitch and we'll kill her if she don't help us. You know, steps. There can be no limits to how far we'd go to save her. Let me make this clear. Satoko is my friend. I'm fighting for her sake. How about you? I heard that you used to be like that. You once fought, you and the whole village, just to save one villager. Isn't that how strongly you rejected the damn project? You're just an outsider. Wait a minute, old lady. I'm not an outsider. I'm Keiichi Mabura from Hinamizawa. I'm fighting to save my friend, who's also from Hinamizawa. How can you say that I'm an outsider? Oryu-san, Mabura-kun came to this village not too long ago, but he's already adapted to our way of life. He's a young man with lots of promise. Since when did you think disrespect is the same as promise, Dr. Erie? Someone bring me my medicine and some tea already. All this blood rushing to my head is making it ache. The man on the far end stood up and brought over some tea and medicine. If you think I'm being disrespectful, then let me make this request properly. We want the Sonozaki's family's help in order to save Satoko Hojo. Satoko lives in this village too. Moreover, she's my friend. Please help us. As I deeply bowed my head to her, my friends bowed along with me. Keiichi-kun, raise your head. You know, it is the same thing we said earlier. We start off by insulting people and then we butter them up. I don't know if that's actually a effective strategy or not. It might only work in stories. What shall we do, Mother? It's none of my business. What are you expecting out of me? Satoko-chan is like family to Keiichi-kun. It's only natural for him to seek help for his family. Mom! However, the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family were enemies. They once disparaged Mother in public, too. We can never forgive them for doing that. That's fine. I will adopt her. She'll become a Mabura. She won't be a Hojo no more at that point. Does that fix it? Is it all better now? This is an issue of distinction. What do you mean, distinction? They would need to make an apology. They're dead! And Satoko doesn't even know anything. Also, how is she supposed to make an apology when she's locked inside a... How? They're... However, the parents died in an accident. Yes, there's no one who can apologize to us. Forgiveness won't come cheap. So if she apologized to you, you'll forget about what her family did. Don't... Even under the good circumstances, I don't think she'd really even understand, and even then, Satoko's not really in an emotional condition to be able to do that very well right now. You'd have to save her first. The world we live in is one of honor. I feel like it's less honorable to hold on to a grudge over some dead people and causing a member of your village to be abused terribly over... I feel like one thing is less honorable than the other. If she apologizes, we'll have no choice but to forgive her. I don't think she'd have any problem with that if, you'd ever asked her, or it ever been an option in the past. But right now, she's not really in the condition to be capable of it. Are you going to make Satoko-chan apologize? Sure. I'll make her apologize for what her parents did. Her parents can't be there to do so, but you'll still forgive her, won't you? We'll have to see her before we make our final decision. Well, about that. How are you going to see her? Plus, here's the thing, Akane. And Oryu as well. You're both very perceptive, very wise women. I feel that if you guys were to go over to Satoko's house right now, well, maybe not Oryu because she might not handle walking there like that, but I do feel that the two of you, though Akane might need to leave with Kasai as a driver and pick her Satoko up, and I don't think Teppei would tell Akane and the Sonozakis no. Which means literally you guys could just stop by and say, hey, we would like Satoko to come with us. I don't think Teppei would tell you guys no. And just because, And then, here's the thing, Akane. I feel that, heck, just you being there and seeing Satoko yourself face to face, I think you would be able to tell what's been going on. And again, Oryu. I know perhaps maybe your eyesight might not be doing the greatest in your old age, but I feel if Satoko were to be in front of you right now, like if you could just snap your fingers and teleport her, which you basically can in your authority, you could literally just have Akane and Kasai go and pick her up and bring her here immediately, right this second. You could literally have Akane and Kasai leave to go pick her up right now and bring her here right now. You guys have that power. And you don't even have to make a threat or anything. Just showing up and asking for her, Teppei would agree. Just because of who you are. And here's the thing. Oryu and Akane. I think if Satoko were standing here right in front of you two, I think it would be completely obvious to both of you what has been going on. And then at that point, even before Satoko even has a chance to apologize, if there's any amount of fucking human decency in your fucking souls, the two of you should, one, both give Satoko a hug and tell her everything will be okay. And then both of you should have incredible anger and the desire to kill Teppei. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm not trying to demand or tell you what to do. I'm just saying if you have any fucking decency inside your heart, one, it should be obvious that she's being abused if she were standing here in front of you. If you could just snap your fingers and she'd be standing here in front of you two, you both would be able to tell what's been going on. And you both, at that point, should both instantly forget about everything about the Hojos and just see Satoko as the person in front of you who is innocent and suffering and should have a great deal of compassion and empathy. And then you should have a great deal of anger and righteous fury for the person responsible for that. So again, I'm not telling you to do anything other than, and heck, maybe you guys are in a very subtle, very, what's the correct word? Composed? I feel like that's not the correct word. But in a very calm way, maybe you guys are concerned about Satoko. And you're saying this to have her brought in front of you as an excuse. But then you'll be able to see for yourselves. And including Kimiyoshi, he's here too. Because here's the thing, when was the last time any of you, Kimiyoshi, Akane, Oryu, when was the last time any of you ever even saw Satoko in any way, shape, or form? Let alone in the condition she's been in lately. Because again, if you could just snap your fingers, which you can, you literally can. If you could just snap your fingers and have her standing in front of you, if you could just teleport her here, which you can. You have the power to do that. Both of you, both Akane and Oryu on their own, individually, have the power to snap their fingers and teleport her here. And the moment she's here in front of either of you, it should be 100% obvious what is going on. And you shouldn't fucking give a shit any about the Hojo shit or the damn conflict. You should just see, the really horrible thing occurring. You should fucking care. And then you should be angry. We'll have to see her before we make our final decision. But I suppose we can say that we'll forgive her. What do you think, Oryu-san? What if Satoko-chan apologized to you about the dam conflict? Well, I'll think about that when she apologizes to me. I might forgive her if she really did. Well, that's fine, Oryu-san. I'm perfectly fine with that, because in order for her to be here to apologize to you, you have to rescue her in the fucking first place. I'm sorry. She can't apologize to you because she's currently being cream pied. Non-consensually. She laughed, obviously thinking that Satoko would never actually apologize to her. Again, the only reason Satoko would not apologize to you is, her mental illness acting up. Which, I don't know if she's been taking her shots to treat her condition, as well as the fact of the matter is this. The only reason I can think of where she wouldn't apologize to you is if her mental state is already so fucking broken that she's not able to function coherently in a suicidal way. And again, if that's the case, it proves my point that we need to fucking save her. So either she's not in danger from Teppei, but she's in good enough state of mind that she can apologize to you, at which point she's still rescued from Teppei, or she's not in a good condition, which proves that she needs to be saved from Teppei, but you won't save her then because you won't be able to apologize to you. But I'm sorry, her throat's a little sore from all the fucking throat fucking. Okay, she's literally being beaten, yelled at, shit broken, thrown around. It seemed for a moment as though Rena had compromise in mind. However, Rena always had a plan up her sleeve. Very well, in the words of Rena in 5 seconds, very well, very wise of you, Oryu-san. Well, in that case, how about you send Kasai to go pick up Satoko right now this minute and bring her here right now to apologize to you. After all, if she's going to apologize to you, it's her duty to do it as soon as possible. After all, we were just saying earlier it was rude of Keiichi not to introduce himself as soon as possible, so we shouldn't keep you waiting. So we should go get Satoko right now so she can apologize to you right this second.
But if she apologized to you, would you apologize to her for discriminating against an innocent girl who didn't deserve to be treated that way? Ha! Satoko-chan wasn't the one supporting the dam project. She's just the child of those who did. But you hate her just for her last name. You're not just an ordinary old lady in this village. You hold great influence over the people here because you're the leader of the Sonozaki family. Your public hatred towards Satoko-chan had a huge impact on the way the village thinks. That became clear with the town council too. Everyone is afraid to interact with the Hojo family because of how much you hate them. You're the mother of all Hinamizawa. You were instrumental in keeping us all afloat in the difficult times after the war. It's only natural that you hold such great influence over the people here. You're aware of how much your decisions can affect the whole village. Let me say this again. Satoko is my friend. She's my family. If your influence is going to cause us trouble, I will do battle with you. Again, we can at least still suggest the idea of, like, I'm a Mabara. My parents can adopt her. She'll become a Mabara. She won't be a Hojo anymore. Shouldn't that fix it? That's what protecting your friends is all about. I'm impressed to hear that from a city boy like you. Let me ask what the other family members think. Well, how about it, everyone? What he's saying does make sense. The problem between the Sonozaki family and the Hojo family is not his business, but he's clear about how much he wants to save her. There wouldn't be any problem if she wasn't a child of the Hojo family. Again, we can adopt her. She can become Satoko Mabara. They can do whatever they want to. We, as a family, can just stay neutral. Don't you agree? No, apparently that's not enough, everyone. The big, scary man in sunglasses spoke with a deep voice. He's saying that the town council won't support them unless the Sonozaki family agree to as well. And without the support of the council, the center won't listen to them either. We need to be clear about a decision on this one. What do you think? Keiichi-kun, you're a stronger man than my daughters have led me to believe. Frankly, I've had to change my opinion of you. You're a man among men. Hello. Are you Mion's father? I thought he was the boss of the Yakuza clan or something. Wait, I did hear once that her dad is exactly that. He certainly looks the part. It's partly our fault that your friend is struggling. Her parents aside, she's just an innocent girl. Isn't that right, mother? Who even cares? Anyone who bears the Hojo name is an ungrateful little shit. Again, she can change her last name. She can become a Mabara. He even told me a few minutes ago that he's going to smash my head in. Yeah, I did. A bastard like that doesn't deserve to be called a man among men. Mother, can we help Keiichi-kun this one time? He's a passionate young man. Not many youngsters these days have the kind of inner strength. Granny, please. We need your help. Satoko is my friend, too. I deeply respect how you fought for the village. I want to fight like you for my friend. I'm asking for your help, too. Satoko is my family. She's a little sister to me. Please give us your help. Upon seeing the twins bowing so deeply, the stubborn old woman simply stared at them with that grave look of hers. I figured it would be difficult to get her to cooperate with us. The mayor looked troubled too. Mion's grandma eventually turned her gaze to me, and I stared back at her. I already bowed to you once, so I'm not going to do that again. But let me say it just one more time. Please help us. Satoko is my friend, and she's one of the villagers. She was never disrespectful to you. You have no reason to hate her. If I nod my head, what happens next? Once the council's on our side, the consultation center will have to hear us out. If they still don't listen, then we'll go there again. We'll go there with the whole village. Tomorrow is Saturday. The consultation center is open in the morning. The villagers will all be gathering for the preparation of the festival then, so I'll just take them along with me. That would be crazy. You'd be involving hundreds of people. How many people would come exactly? I don't know how many of them would, but I'd definitely go make a speech in front of all of them. How do things look to you, Mr. Mayor? Most of the council members are supporting them. Our relationship with the government is important, but some of them think it's more important to fight for Satoko-chan. That is, to resurrect the spirit of the Guardians. We all understand what Keiichi-kun is trying to do, and no one disagrees with him.
So the whole village is united, even without Mother? But you're still seeking final approval from the Sonozaki family. That's a rather dirty way to do business. I see it more as like showing you how serious I am about this. Like, it'd be like showing up to an interview without a resume. Wouldn't it show a complete lack of preparedness on my part? And that like I wasn't, really caring? Akane-san, or Ryu-san, to put it simply, I feel bad for Satoko-chan. She's doing the best she can even though she's all alone. I think it's time for us to let her know that she won't be ostracized by anyone anymore. Again! 1. We can change the Hojo name. My family can adopt her. She can become Mabra. 2. You guys want an apology, right? So go get her now. Send someone to the Satoko household. Teppei will not refuse the fucking leaders of the fucking Yakuza that he used to work for. All you have to do, it can be someone under the order of Akane, or her husband, or Kasai, or Oryu. Any of them could go to the house containing Teppei and Satoko. Ask for Satoko to hop in a car with Akane. Drive her back here. Teppei wouldn't even protest in that situation. He would act like a meek little fucking kitten because he's a fucking coward and a fucking piece of shit. Because the end of the day is this. He's a violent son of a bitch who can only be violent and angry and hateful to women and children and to anyone he feels stronger than. He has no amount of courage in terms of standing up to anyone that he sees as an actual threat to himself. He's just somebody who likes to hurt people that are weaker than him and only does so because of his own temper. At no point would he ever, use force to fight to protect others or against someone in which, he'd have anything to be scared of in any way. He's a complete fucking coward. But he's also an abusive asshole. He has no fucking reservations about being angry and hateful and condescending and violent and vicious toward people he feels are helpless, innocent, and unable to defend themselves or fight back. You have the power to go get Satoko right now and bring her here this second. You could have her here in the time it takes to brew a cup of coffee. And 1, you'd get your apology. 2, you'd probably even stop her mid-apology and start apologizing yourselves when you see the condition that she is in. And 3, well, you'd probably be at the Child Consultation Center with me. And that's putting it mildly. I refuse. I will never forgive the demon child of the Hojo family. Fine then. You are the enemy of my friend. That makes you my enemy. I'm gonna kill you right here. Mion, you can take her place and lend us your support then. I'm gonna kill this old bat right here, right this minute. As I jumped up, her family members stood in my way. They all had put their hands in their pockets. I don't want to imagine what they might pull out of there. This is pissing me off. How dare you say that? I can't take this anymore. Or you? Think of your blood pressure. I'm sorry, Rika-chama. Will you pass me that bag of medication? My veins really are going to burst. She was mumbling too much for me to tell what she was saying, but I could tell that she was furious. She whispered something into Mion's mother's ear. She spoke for her instead. I'm sorry, but this is it for tonight. She has a horrible headache and she can't talk with you any longer. But I still haven't gotten my answer. Again, we did kind of push it too far, threatening to murder her, and even jumping forward to do so was a poor decision. But before we said that, our next option should have been when she's like, I refuse. I'm like, well, you still want that apology from Satoko, right? So go send someone to pick her up right now so she can give you that apology. Keiichi-kun, you need to learn to play by the adults' rules. I've been very patient with you today. That's because you're a friend of my daughter's. You need to reflect on that, don't you think? Kei-chan, we've done enough today. Let's get out of here. Based on Mion and Shion's reaction, Mion's mom is very scary when she's angry. They were convinced that their mom was going to explode in about 10 seconds. Still, should we really leave after just that? Damn it. I really want her to nod. If she gives me an answer tonight, I can gather a huge crowd tomorrow. Again, I feel like we're being impatient about that. But again, they also gave me a lot of mixed signals earlier on this. As far as like, it's just like, okay, I'm just fucking confused as to what sort of expectations. Like, what's going on there? I'm confused. But again, I do feel like both times, like any of the times where we threatened violence, that was a step too far. Especially from people who were trying to ask for help. One, we should have just said, instead of threatening violence, we should have been like, you want your apology, right? So send someone to pick up Satoko now, so she can apologize to you. There's a chance they would have agreed. And of course they agreed. They have the power to do that. And at the end of the day, I don't need like their fucking nod or approval, because I don't need to convince them of anything. All I need to do is get Satoko in front of them, and they'll see it for themselves. The people at the Child Consultation Center were laughing at us today. We gradually increased the number of people we had until the third day, but on the fourth day we had less. They must think that we won't show up at all within a couple of days. No matter what, we can't stop showing up. How many days has it been since it was taken by your uncle? We don't have a single day to waste. However, for tonight, the meeting was over. The old lady went to sleep, and we were kicked out of the room. Yeah, threatening to murder her, twice in fact, was not a good idea. Even though the rest of us were forced to leave, the mayor stayed behind to wrap things up. We decided to wait in the yard for him to come back out. Damn it, we were almost there. You said everything you needed to say. You have to give her time to think about. Of course, we don't exactly have time to waste. What do you think, Coach? Oryu-san was in a really foul mood. Once she gets like that, she'll stay that way for at least 3 days. It might be difficult for us to take any villagers along for the protest tomorrow. At least she'd listen to us until the end. We just have to trust that she'll make the right decision. You're right. It's hard to trust in someone and just wait, though. Hey, everyone. You all did a good job in there. Mion and Shion ran over to join us. Hey, you two did a good job, too. How was it? Do you think it'll work out? I have no idea. From the looks of it, she was in a terrible mood. Honestly, Kei-chan, I don't think you should ever come back here. What, so I can't ever hang out at your house again? Jeez. Still, that was really impressive, Kei-chan. You didn't even seem scared. Was she that scary? She had a scary look on her face, sure, but it wasn't that bad. You can only say that because you don't know how scary she really is. Well, as they say, ignorance is bliss. That's not true. I think he would have fought her even if he knew how scary she can really be. Didn't Chapter 5 of Minagoroshi start with Shion saying a similar rant and yelling at Oryu, which, ended very, very badly with Shion being forced to rip out her fingernails. Also, the PTSD from that triggered the Hinamizawa syndrome to get worse, which then led to Shion committing mass murder. Serial killing stuff. So, just saying, could have gone better. Speaking of which, you seemed fine when she yelled at you too, Ryugu-san. She might have raised her voice, but she wasn't actually angry. I wasn't scared at all either. Not at all. Did she really not look angry to you? No. Your grandmother wasn't angry at all. Is that really how it looked to her? To me, it looked like her head was going to explode. The next moment, I heard someone walking toward us. It was the mayor, who was accompanied by Mion's mother. Oh, Uncle Kimiyoshi, how was it? Did the old witch finally start melting? Didn't she fall asleep from, the headache thing? Well, we got her approval. Really? Okay. Thank you. I mean, don't think that I'm not appreciative. I am extremely appreciative. I just very shocked, and I'm struggling to process it. What? You mean the virago gave you the green light? Okay. Now that I know the context of what that word means, why do you refer to your mother that way? Then again, I know you were forced to rip out your fingernails at one point, and so was Oryu at one point when she was younger. You guys have a problem in your family. It's not healthy. You can do what you want to now, Kiichiro. Thank you! Are you serious? Is that really true, Mom? That hag was so ticked off, though, I can't even imagine what caused her to grant us permission. No matter how it happened, I guess she accepted me in the end? The virago gave her approval to town council to support Keiichi-kun. Now you have the Onokafushi Guardians on your side. With them, there's no way you can lose. But you can't put up a disgraceful fight either. Okay, I definitely don't want to let you guys down. One, because I don't want to let Satoko down, and two, because I really do appreciate this. But that being said, I feel like I could use some advice on how to not be disgraceful. You only just moved to this village, but you'll need to understand and appreciate the history of Hinamizawa. Can you take on this responsibility? Gladly. But again, any advice that would allow me to do things in a way that you would think would be good, that's welcome. I would appreciate that. Yes, I can. You're a brave boy. You do have my respect. It takes great courage to address the virago like that. It gave me chills when you jumped on top of her and put your hands around her throat. Did I do that? I thought I just jumped up and got smacked to the ground. Or made threatening gestures. Eh? Well, I almost did jump on her, but I wasn't actually serious. Listen, for a moment. You jumped on top of her and nearly choked her to death. What? Oh! You're making this up. You want me to say this. You want this to be the viewpoint of how... But why? Is it to try to make it look like she didn't relent so easily? But then how does that help her in the public image? I'm confused. But my understanding is that all I did was threaten to murder her, and then I jumped up in the air, by jumping forward like a couple feet, and then put my arms forward in a angry gesturing manner as if I was going to punch her in the head to cave in her skull. But I didn't come within, 6 feet, COVID distance of her. But you are wanting to spread the story that I actually physically jumped on top of her and choked her. That's how it's going to be. But why? That's so violent. The virago can't possibly forgive the Hojo family. She also can't possibly give you what you want simply because you came to her and begged for it. So unless the story goes something like that, after Keiichi-kun violently fought with the virago, she was impressed by his chivalry and decided to grant him special permission. It won't sound convincing. What? I mean, on the one hand, thank you, but I'm so confused. You're saying me jumping on top of an elderly woman and choking her half to death, maybe slightly more than half, is chivalry. Apparently, I've been using that word wrong my whole life. Also, if she suddenly dies in her sleep tonight, I feel like that makes me look really bad, like it's my fault she's dead. Because she is old, and she has blood pressure issues. And she was angry. I mean, it still would be my fault, though, but... I mean, it could be something else. I'm just saying, if she dies the next couple days, it's going to look really badly on me. I feel like the people in the village would be upset. Got it, Mion? I don't think I can play mahjong well enough to make up for that. Yeah. That sounds great. Things can't just be simple with her, huh? Huh. This is how a legend is born. Now, people will believe that you physically fought with the hag in order to save Satoko. I mean, I was going to. Just same time I didn't want to actually hurt her. Just try to save my friend. People are going to be afraid of you, Kei-chan. This is the beginning of the legend of Keiichi the Strongest. Everybody will run and hide when they see you on the streets. I don't want to be a legend. But anyway, thank you very much. You don't need to thank me. The town council made the decision. We can't go against their wishes. In fact, we would have preferred if you just ignored us and went ahead with things. That was a dirty move of yours, Mayor Kimiyoshi. Again, I mean, you did just tell me what you'd rather have me do. I've just got it, but... And hey, wouldn't that have been... I feel very confused, but thank you. I at least understand that much. I understand that, one, you did something that I'm very appreciative of, and two, that you care. And again, that's extremely appreciated on my part. I'm still very confused by a lot of this, and I kind of feel like it's dizzying to try to understand what's happening. But thank you. I really do mean it. I just still feel very, very confused as to, like, that being said, Akane, if possible, could I have your phone number? No, not in that way. I'm not trying to hit on you. I feel like you're very good at understanding inter-hierarchical interactions, both on a societal level and at an interpersonal level. Basically, socialization, human interaction, how to actually talk to people, street smarts, if you will. I'm basically saying is this. I'm saying you have a type of wisdom that I don't think I possess in the tiniest bit. To the point that I feel that when it comes to a lot of things, I feel that I don't understand what is going on. And I'll even say this applies to real life lunar IRL as well. I feel like
it would be very beneficial to have somebody like Akane for me to speak to. Someone who would actually care about me, and someone who would have her composure and intelligence and wisdom when it comes to this sort of stuff. Because I feel that, again, I don't know if I actually am ADHD or autistic. I don't know. As well as maybe, severe clinical long-term depression and borderline personality disorder. But again, not officially diagnosed with anything. But, well, every time I read the descriptions of all those things, I'm like, it seems pretty familiar. I'm just saying that perhaps... And again, I mean, some things are a little bit odd. Like I know with the autism thing, it's not really a... Again, I don't know if I am, but I will say this. It's not like I don't understand sarcasm. I do. And even, very slight body movements and interactions, I can understand subtleties very well. Even when other people don't. But at the same time, I also feel like I have a very... I don't know the correct word. Would the word even be prejudiced? I don't think it would be very... What's the correct word? Because the only thing I think of is prejudice, but prejudice applies to, having a feeling toward people because of, something to do with, their race or something. Whereas what I'm trying to describe is that my feelings toward all of humanity is influenced by very negative circumstances that have happened in the past that were very painful and traumatizing, and there is a degree of hypervigilance on my part, and hyper anxiety and stress and fearfulness and worry and paranoia and a feeling like say you're in public, there's a feeling okay, you're talking to someone, well, they must hate you and they must want you to die, and they would probably kill you if they could. Now again, this is an understandable response to, well, lots of people have done and said very horrible things. In fact, I could probably pick 100 examples of each of those very bad things out of every decade of my life. Whether we're talking about, in the past 10 years, though most of that's a little bit further back. But also, literally, if you were to divide my life into segments of, 10 years at any point, there would be lots of, let's just say, very negative conditioning that happened, where people were very, very not nice to me. Lots of very bad things were said, and, well, I have had people, we'll just go with hurt me a lot throughout my entire life. And that leaves a jaded expectation of paranoia from other people, to where you're kind of always on guard about being hurt because you've been hurt a lot. Which, one, those things still do hurt, and two, there's always that concern about being hurt again. Okay, we got off topic. I guess the main point there was a statement of my own
severe low self-esteem and paranoia and PTSD. But aside from that, the main point I was trying to say when I was saying I should get Akane's phone number is I feel that both in terms of Keiichi Mabura, the character in the story, as well as, honestly, Lunar D8, feel that someone like Akane would be useful for not only serious things in life, which again, I feel like there's a lot of things that have happened throughout my entire life that talking to someone like Akane would have been very, very helpful. But also, I also feel that there's lots of social circumstances to where I feel that I don't understand what is going on and what other people are thinking or feeling or what I should do or even how to properly express my own feelings in what is going on. And I feel that Akane, or someone like Akane with that kind of, with the personality that she has, and with what she has displayed in just what we've seen in the video that I'm currently recording, I feel like she would, one, be able to understand a circumstance so as to tell me what I should do and what is the correct choice. But also, I feel that she would be capable of understanding me so that she understands my thoughts, my feelings, and perhaps my unorthodox way of thinking, feeling, expressions. I don't know the word. I feel like none of those are the correct. But the main point is, whatever that word is, Akane would understand it. Whatever it is that is the fucking messed up world of my mental state, I feel Akane would be able to understand that and be able to communicate with me in a way that would be best for me, so that I would understand, so that she would, one, understand the circumstances of what's going on around us and what is being said and what everyone else is thinking and feeling and what is the correct choice for me, but also that she would understand how I think and feel, and that she would be capable of understanding how I might misunderstand things or get confused. That she'd be able to understand my confusion. And I'll be honest, I have something like, I've definitely, again, a self-diagnosis thing here, but disorganized speech. Though I feel like anyone listening to me talk probably agrees with this diagnosis. But whether it's how I talk or how I write, I tend to be very disorganized and incoherent in the way I express what I am thinking. I don't know if it counts like an ADHD type thing. I don't know. I don't know if I am any of those things. I don't know if I actually am autistic or ADHD. I don't know. I don't know if it's just something else that's... like, I don't know if it's some other thing that's with me. Again, I can just say I'm eccentric and it's something with my personality. Who knows? That's probably a large degree true. Heck. But I'm just saying, whatever it is, it might not... It probably isn't autism or ADHD. But whatever it is, I can notice in myself about it. I at least see similarities between that symptoms and that. So whatever it is, I at least draw comparisons myself in an attempt to understand myself. My main point is this. I feel Akane would actually understand the weird way my mind works and be able to understand how I am better than I understand how I am. And be able to know what to do and say about it and how to communicate with me in that regard with how I am. Again, I don't know how I am. I don't know how to describe this. But I feel like Akane would be able to. I feel like she would be helpful for all of those things. And again, yes, she is very pretty. But again, I'm not trying to bang Mion's mom. I feel like that would be kind of weird. That'd really be awkward at school club activities. Yeah, it'd be really awkward. And again, I'm not saying she's not pretty. She is. She's very pretty. It's just, I'm not trying to date her. I feel like if I was Keiichi Mabura, I feel like if there was any person I'd probably want to get some advice from, I feel Akane would be a very good person to ask for advice from. Like if I was ever going through something, I had an issue going on, especially if it was serious, or there's something I felt confused about, I could just ramble on incoherently to Akane, doing my best to talk about what is on my mind, even though I don't know how to order my thoughts. And I think that she would be able to understand it better than me, and that she would understand the situation and how I feel better than I do, and that she would have the best advice possible. If that makes any sense to anybody out there. No, well, I'm glad that she gave us her approval after that. The virago always worried about Satoko-chan because people were still treating her poorly. She thought that she could only make everything right with her death. But thanks to all of you, she was able to settle this issue before the end. I'm sure she appreciates it. No, we're very thankful to her as well. I'll have to come here again to thank her in person. Ha ha ha. That's not a good idea. She'll chase you around with a sword next time. In fact, I'm surprised she didn't do that today. She must be fond of you, Keiichi-kun. I thought so too. Oryu's even more fond of using her sword. Rika-chan, don't say that with such a big smile. I'm glad I'm still alive. I've grown fond of you too after today. That's what being a man is all about. Satoko-chan is a very lucky girl, having such a dedicated man as you. Wait, Mom! Satoko and Kei-chan aren't like that. Oh, they're not? If he doesn't have a girl yet, then you two have a chance. Hey, Keiichi-kun, between Mion and Shion, which do you prefer? You can call me your mother from now on if you like. Mion and Shion Why did you hit me? Mion and Shion simultaneously turned red and hit me with their fists and their elbow. The apple sure doesn't fall far from the tree, huh? Their mom talks just the same way that they do. Well, Keiichi-kun, you managed to successfully persuade Oryu-san. Just as we promised, you have the council's support. We'll call the people in charge tomorrow and let them know. And of course, I'll tell them to take Satoko-chan under their protection as soon as possible. We have Oryu-san's support too. I'm sure Satoko-chan will be rescued shortly after my call. Are you serious? You just managed to persuade someone that important, Kei-chan. So, Satoko-chan really will be safe this time tomorrow? We can't say that for sure. If they refuse Uncle Kimiyoshi's request, that means the Onikafushi Guardians will come after them. He's normally a calm guy, but he's like a monster when he becomes the leader of the Guardians, aren't you, Uncle? I'll be a monster if I have to. I can promise you that. I'll do my best to ensure that Satoko-chan is rescued as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Also, will you please stop ostracizing Satoko just because of who her parents were? We heard you saying bad things about her, you know.
Something about how she's a member of a cursed family. I was just saying those things because of other people. I don't personally have anything against her. Then quit saying it, all right? Please accept her as just another child of the village. Of course. I'll never say that again. I promise you that. I'm afraid Keiichi-kun might throttle me too. And everyone lived happily ever after. After that, we started heading back home. Satoko still isn't saved. But the future refused to change. But I think we made a huge progress today, just the same. The mayor is going to call the Child Consultation Center tomorrow to tell them that he's on our side. He's also going to persuade them to save Satoko as soon as possible. He'll bring up Oryu-san's name, too. And then we found Satoko's corpse on the side of the road. Is Satoko really going to be rescued from her fate? Yeah, I'm sure she will. She might even be saved tomorrow. If not, we'll go all out next time. It'll be the war to end all wars. Also, Rika-chan? Meep? Don't use words like fate anymore. Putting it like that, it's like it's already been decided. But see, nothing is actually decided in advance. We're the ones who make our own futures. So stop using the word fate as if there's nothing we can do. Rika seemed to think about it, what I said, for a while. I wondered for a moment if I said something that hurt her feelings, but Rika-chan soon smiled at me. That doesn't look like a smile! Okay, I'll do what you say. I won't use that word anymore. You told me you could change fate as easily as tearing a piece of paper, and after 100 years, you're about to break the horrible cycle of Teppei's return. I can now believe that the danger that awaits me is something that can be changed as well. The worst thing that could ever happen is you not moving to Hinamizawa. I experienced that twice in the past 100 years. Those are the saddest worlds of all. Huh? I don't understand the thing that just came out of your mouth. You're trying to confuse the issues, aren't you? Meep. That's a secret. I'll do just as Keiichi says. I won't use words like fate anymore. That being said, I am glad I am important to you. Rika, that the two worlds that didn't have me were pretty shitty. I mean, it sucked that those were shitty worlds. I'm saying I'm glad I make a positive difference in your life. Hello, thank you for calling. You've reached Shishibone City Hall. Hello. Excuse me, could you get me the local affairs chief from the social welfare department? Of course, please hold. Thank you for calling. This is the local government section. Hello. May I speak to the head clerk? Ada-san. Hello, Kimiyoshi. Thank you very much for the other day. No, it was no problem. Really, I should be thanking you. I'm much obliged. The head clerk is right here. I'll give him the phone. Sir, it's Kimiyoshi, the head of the Hinamizawa Town Council. Hello? How may I help you today? Well, I'm calling about that case at the Child Consultation Center. Oh yes, a group of young children have been protesting in front of the office. They're such an inconvenience. I'm so glad that we were able to talk to you about that. So how did it turn out? Well, the village has officially decided to support Mamoru-kun. Excuse me, could you say that again? The town council agrees with what Mamoru-kun is doing. The younger people in the council want to support him as best they can. Well, I say younger, but they're in their 50s and 60s. Ha ha ha! I see. However, what are the other council members saying? Well, we held an emergency meeting last night. Some of the more hard-headed members were against it at first, but they were persuaded by Mamoru-kun in the end. You know, we don't see young people that much backbone these days. In my opinion, attitudes like that ought to be nurtured for the sake of a brighter future. So, everyone on the council has reached a consensus? Yes, that's right. Everyone came to an agreement. Nobody is opposed to supporting him. Kimiyoshi-san, as I explained to you, the people at the Child Consultation Center are doing the best they can. However, they cannot render their final judgment before the investigation period is over. It's a human rights issue.
I believe Mamoru-kun explained it to them many times. Satoko-chan is being locked up by a terribly violent man. The emotional scars she's suffering, and the physical ones, will never heal. She will forever have a deep wound in her pure and innocent heart. Remember what they were saying at the youth seminar the other day? You were there with me, weren't you? Yes, well, what does the Sonozaki family say about this? Well, Oryu-san also agrees with us. She was very clear about that. If you are going to insist on not rescuing Satoko-chan, the whole village will be joining Mamoru-kun's movement. Oryu? Sonozaki said that? Well, this is a problem within the family, so it's very hard for the government to take care of it. If I could see the man, I'd talk to him in person. But he rarely even leaves his house. Besides, if one of us personally said something to him, he might get nervous and hurt Satoko-chan even more. That's why the local government has to get involved. I understand your point. I'll call Sonozaki-san in a moment and ask for her opinion too. I'd advise you not to do that. Oryu-san is very upset right now. I really wouldn't call her for some time. Really? That's not good. When she's mad, it's like she turns into a demon. Anyway, I want you to tell the Child Consultation Center to put Satoko-chan under their protection immediately. I'll come with you if you need me to. We can go right now. Oh no, I can't make you go to all that trouble. I'll call the Child Consultation Center and give you their feedback later today. I want you to let me know before noon. I'm sure your call won't be so long it stretches into the evening. Is the head of the office that busy? No, he's not. Very well. I'll call you back before noon today. Thank you very much. Tell them that the town council is very upset that they're not taking this appeal seriously enough. Yes, I will let them know. Yes. I'll talk to you again soon. Click. Sir, are you okay? This is bad. Hinamizawa village is kicking up a storm again. Saito-kun, will you please call Sonozaki-san and ask her what's going on? I need to call the Child Consultation Center. This might be a resurrection of the dam conflict. Oh? Hello? Yes, this is the local government section calling. May I speak to the head to the office? The Hinamizawa Town Council is supporting them. I thought you told me they weren't connected to this. I did. When I spoke to the mayor the other day, they weren't involved. However, they changed their stance just last night. I understand. However, we're still not going to reverse our decision, even if the whole village really does show up. It wouldn't be right to give her special treatment just because the town council protests. Sir, I believe you're aware of this, but they're the Onagafushi Guardians. You know about the dam conflict, right? I wasn't living here then, so I don't know much about it. I heard that it was some huge government protest or something like that. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you should pay attention to what they're saying. But wait a minute. I heard that the Onagafushi Guardians disbanded years ago. Haven't you had a fairly close relationship with the village ever since the conflict ended? Yes, things had worked out smoothly. I wonder what happened to change that overnight. The mayor seems to be favoring a young man named Mamoru-kun. They have the support of Sonozaki too. It's not a trivial matter. Sonozaki-san, you mean the ruler of the underside of Hinamizawa? I've never actually met her. At any rate, you need to be very careful. If it's at all possible, I think you should try to protect Hojo-san immediately. I'm not familiar with this mayor, so I don't know what kind of person he is. Our job needs to be done carefully, and no matter the job, it's just not right to do things in a disorderly fashion. Our people are doing the best they can. They have piles of other cases to work on. Every single case is very important. We can't just prioritize her case for no reason. I see. I understand. I'll call Kimiyoshi-san back and let him know your opinion. You need to call him back? Look, the municipal government doesn't exist for this town council's amusement. Why are you bending over backwards just to look after the needs of one village? I understand. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Click. This is really bad. That guy isn't even from around here. He has no idea how scary that town council can be. That's a transfer to the prefectural office for you. He's fighting against Hinamizawa. I refuse to be responsible for this one. How did you do? Did you get to talk to Sonozaki-san? Yes. She has the same opinion as Kimiyoshi-san. She also wants a call from you regarding what the Child Consultation Center said. No! This is really, really bad! I thought this was going to be a happy Saturday. The head of the consultation center has no idea what he's up against. There's going to be a huge crowd swarming the area by the beginning of the week. We have to call Kimiyoshi-san and Sonozaki-san right away, huh? Should I help with that too? Before anything else, we should be calling the mayor of Shishibone. Reviving the Guardians. If there's 1,000, the whole village should stand up and fight.